Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today into some source material, describing an event called the Super Spring Cookout at Sunny Sprout Park.
Right.
And our mission, really, is to pull out the key insights, the lessons from this specific account.
Yeah, and it might seem like just a simple story, a cookout, right?
Exactly.
But when you look closer, it uses this event to show some really um, fundamental ideas about community working together, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So let's set the scene. It's spring, Sunny Sprout Park. Everyone decides on this big cookout. And the first thing the source really highlights is, well, how they got organized.
hmm It wasn't just random.
No, not a free-for-all. Everyone had a job.
Yeah, the source really details that task specialization, you could call it. Benny the bear, big paws, so veggie burgers. Makes
Yep.
sense.
Right.
Penny the porcupine, very precise, apparently. She did the fruit kebabs.
Delicate work.
Exactly.
Yes.
And Ricky Raccoon, well, he was on marshmallow duty, maybe a bit ambitious there.
Ah.
And Sally the squirrel had a dessert contest.
So it shows how, playing to strengths, or maybe even just quirks,
Yeah.
was really important for making the whole thing work. It's a principle you see everywhere, really. Family dinners, work projects.
Knowing who fits where. Okay, and then there's a big focus in the material on the food itself,
Yeah.
what they were actually eating.
Definitely. And it wasn't just like burgers and dogs. The source emphasizes the healthy side.
Okay.
They shared family recipes, talked about good food. They even had this song, Grill and Giggle, while they were cooking.
I like that.
Yeah. So it's not just saying eat healthy. It's making it communal, joyful, getting people involved.
Making it engaging.
Yeah.
I also thought the creative touches mentioned were pretty cool, like Freddy the Fox showing up with a salad cart
Oh, yeah.
made from old flower pots, recycled ones.
That was great. And the blankets, shaped like giant leaves for sitting on.
Right.
It shows that, resourcefulness, using what you have in a new way.
Adds a bit of magic, too.
Yeah.
Makes it memorable, even with simple things. Totally. It's about creating that special atmosphere.
So they have this big meal. They even have this collective shout, let's chow down and chow smart, which is fun. But the story, the source material, doesn't end there. It talks about the cleanup.
Which is actually really important to the whole picture the source paints.
How so?
Well, first they composted the scraps. Simple thing, but it points to minimizing waste.
Standard eco-friendly stuff.
Right. But then, maybe the most significant detail, they took seeds from the food they just ate
Okay.
and they planted them for future growth.
Ah, planting the seeds. So that's more than just tidying up, is it?
Exactly. It's really powerful. It's about closing the loop, thinking long term.
Connecting today's meal to tomorrow's garden.
Precisely. It shows this commitment not just to the fun of the cookout, but to the actual, future health of the park and the community, investing back in.
Okay. So if we pull all these threads together from the source material, this Super Spring Cookout is kind of like a mini masterclass.
It really is, yeah. You see these simple but effective lessons. Organizing well by giving everyone a role.
Right, the task assignments.
Making healthy eating appealing, through sharing and fun.
The grill and giggle effect.
Exactly. Then there's the creativity, the resourcefulness,
Flower pot salad cart.
celebrating mindfully, and then that tangible commitment to the environment, composting, planting seeds, thinking ahead.
And it feels like you can take these elements described, the roles, the food focus, the planting, and you can see parallels. Building a community, running a team, even just how you handle resources day to day.
Absolutely. It makes you think, doesn't it? How just combining basic things, cooperation, good food, looking after your space, can actually build something pretty special, something lasting.
Which leads us to that final thought, maybe, from this deep dive. How does that simple act, sharing a meal today, but also planting seeds for tomorrow, how does that capture maybe the most basic way we build a better future?
That's a good question. Something to chew on, maybe, after your next get-together.
Indeed. Well, that wraps up this deep dive into the Super Spring Cookout.